And that sun coming out. What up, y'all? Okay, so there is no such thing as left and right, and I'm about to prove it with weed. Okay, so first of all, let me let y'all know I ended up watching a video of this creator named The Market Exit. And I actually ended up watching this video maybe a year or so ago. It's been at least that long. Um, or I don't know how long it's been, but I ended up rewatching the video. And I suggest y'all all check that out. Um, I not only watched his video, which was called "The Political Spectrum is a Myth." There was these other two videos where you know how there's like sometimes it'll be like two actual actors going back and forth, and then sometimes I seen another video where it was a dude who was doing the talk to yourself but sit across from yourself and had a camera go back and forth like you talking to yourself. The best creator that does that is Nowsy Now. Shout out to Nowsy Now. He's been going crazy for years. Very, very talented brother. But at any rate, all three of those videos went over how um, white people especially have this concept that there's just like this set of beliefs uh, that the left has, and there's a set of beliefs that the right has. Black people and people of color in general fall for that bullshit as well. The whole idea, though, is um, there's times when motherfuckers gonna sound like they more in agreement with each other than not, and against their own interests slash uh, paradoxical talking points. But anyway, I'll give you an example from one of the videos, actually for both of the videos. From one of the back and forth, one white guy is racist, one white guy is woke, or one white guy is left and one white guy is right. The woke white dude was like, you know, actually, actually, Jews are not white. And then the racist white dude was like, you know what? I agree. um, but going back to the market exits video, he was, and I'm getting to the weed shit. Just hold tight. Um, the market exits video, he mentioned how Hitler was pro-fascism, but he was anti-Israel. So it's like, is he left wing? Is he right wing? People can, that's the shit that the left always likes to talk about. Ironically, it doesn't exist in a vacuum, and nuance and ground news and all of that shit. So just keep y'all eyes open, y'all ears open, and be paying attention to the shit you hearing and the shit you saying. You hear me? But anyway, another thing that the Caucasian gentleman in the political spectrum is a myth video said, he called the political spectrum political astrology, and he showed how that version of astrology is bullshit and how astrology period is bullshit. More on that later. But anyway, between my first job at age 15 being working in politics and my first time smoking weed at age 16, I first began to realize everybody is full of bullshit. I unlearned so much. I unlearned so much about the world just by unlearning shit about weed. But anyway, first off, my mother voted Democrat as long as I can remember. And my father also voted Democrat as long as I can remember. Just like, and my parents weren't together. They barely was engaged and broke up by the time I was 5 years old. But they very much are kind of sort of birds of a feather ass motherfuckers, even though they oftentimes disagree with each other. Bars. Anyway, I get high, I get high, I get high. Anyway, so my mother and father, they both voted Democrat, just like the majority of black people, Democrat in name only, because y'all not only anti-weed, y'all have conservative views in general on gender, sex, sexuality. Y'all always in church. More on that later, etc., etc. Fast forward, fast forward to when I get to college at like age 18. So at age 18, at racist ass Ball State, which is in racist ass Indiana, I learned very fast that smoking weed does not mean you not racist. It don't mean you progressive. It don't even mean you pro weed. Kind of like um some people are embarrassed to have the habit, kind of like being gay. More on that later. But seriously, I had a coworker. Fast forward to when I was age 19, this Mexican lady who I was working with, who smoked weed. At least that's what she told me. She talking about, if I was a cop, I would arrest people if they were smoking weed outside because you're not supposed to be smoking weed outside in public. And I'm just like, bitch, everybody can't smoke indoors. Everybody don't got their own home. That's an economic class-based capitalism problem. But as we know, motherfuckers vote against their own interests all the time. Speaking of which, my whole point of this video, aside from getting more people to talk about weed, is that the two-party system will continue as long as y'all got this two-party binary, hint, hint, mindset. The social construct, hint, hint, is proven to affect us all in this way because even if you say leftists are not the same as Democrats and are not the same as liberals, y'all all vote the same. And proof of that is all three groups got mad at me when I voted third party. And not just this election either. I mean, I smoke green, why wouldn't I vote green? Anyway, speaking of green, when I first started smoking, I didn't start smoking until I like researched it. I learned about the history of cannabis, the history of racism in this country, and how that played a role in the legalization problems with cannabis. And I also learned about other substances, and I learned all of this because in my AP Language and Composition class in junior year, yeah, your boy got that wit. I was doing my junior research project, and I talk about this in my other video. What did I call that shit? Finding Love as a Black Male Stoner. Go peep that shit. Check my other videos out. But at any rate, I did my junior research project about the legalization of weed. And yeah, man, I basically became disillusioned, as motherfuckers be saying, about all the bullshit about weed, but bullshit in general. Like I went down a rabbit hole of just this a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie, this a lie, that's a lie. And I'm a pretty fast learner. And due to that, certain forms of bullshit never stayed in my life. Or at least never stayed in large amounts. And some shit, not at all. I mentioned earlier that I would return to the topics of religion and belief systems. If you watch my other videos, once again, go watch my other videos, you'll see I'm a very loud and proud non-believer. That was certainly a gradual process, though. This was not overnight. And I kept chipping away more and more at certain things until the whole facade eventually came down. And I have a hierarchy of beliefs, so people don't just think, oh, he don't believe in nothing, he don't listen to nothing. My hierarchy is as follows. Number one, things that I 100% agree with This group I call the 100 group. I'm gonna give you two examples of shit that I 100% agree with. Full stop. Number one, being black is something to be proud of. I don't give a fuck what homeboy Sandman said. Go watch my one of my shorts. I got into it with a little nugget head ass, bald head ass, peanut head ass, pin head ass, funny face ass, long leg ass, boy. Anyway, long leg, funny foot ass, boy. Anyway, foghorn leghorn looking ass, boy. Lanky bastard ass, boy. Anyway, I be giving the smoke to the old heads, boy, because y'all ass be tweaking on everything. But anyway, being black is absolutely something to be proud of. Another thing I 100% agree with is trans lives matter. Full stop. Trans people deserve to have life. They deserve to have rights. They deserve to have the right to life. More on that later. The second group I call mostly. The shit that I agree with mostly, but it's still some shit missing, slash some certain shit that I can't fully agree with. I'll give you an example of that. Mick Jenkins. He my favorite rapper. He been my favorite rapper for like 10 years. Y'all should go check bro shit out. He was born in Huntsville, Alabama, but moved to Chicago when he was 9 years old. And he reps Chicago, so we gonna claim him. He a Chicago rapper. Anyway, as a person and as an artist, I mostly fuck with him, but it's still like nobody's perfect. So obviously there's some shit about bro that I'm not gonna agree with. One is how he's in a doomsday cult. Um that Seventh Day Adventist shit. Um you feel me? So there's that. But anyway, this next group I'm going to call damn, I don't even know what the fuck I wrote down. But anyway, oh yeah, I know what that is. Anyway, so yeah, G. The second group is called 60/40/51/49. This means I agree with probably 51 to 60% of the shit, but I disagree with a good 40 to 49% of the shit. This is the group that I agree more than I disagree, but I still disagree a lot. Example of this would be Kendrick Lamar. Like this man, shout out to fine ass Rebecca Azor. Um, you know, she and other people, shout out to fine ass Ola Yummy. Um, they was talking about how, Kendrick, he be with the fuck shit, when it come to women, he's not he's not the guy that people should like look towards for like how to be not even just like on some masculine shit for women, but like as a black man, like, you know, I know motherfuckers gotta get their money, but the fact that bro ass is doing this South Park shit, first of all, the left, what's bro name? John Lewis and all of y'all, or maybe it was Lil Bill, I don't remember, but some of y'all that just found out about that shit, bro, nah man. Um I'm writing all of these people names down as I mention y'all. I'm like, if I mention y'all, I'm gonna mention y'all. I'm gonna tag y'all in the video. But anyway, so yeah, that shit was goofy as hell. Then the motherfucking the fact that back on the you gotta get your money shit, the fact that he goddamn didn't say the police shit, and we hey Popo, he bleeped that shit out in a live performance. I think he did that or something like that at least twice. I know he did that shit at least once, but probably more than once though. Um, but yeah, but here's the thing though, when it come to him versus Drake, it's like I don't fuck with Drake at all, and I fuck with Kendrick some. So it's an easy like by default who would I be drawn to? Us? I didn't give a fuck about the beef though until I heard "Not Like Us." Like I didn't give a fuck about nothing, especially because my name is Adonis. Like that's my birth name. So when I had Dear Adonis, I was like, ugh, get this out of here. I don't want to hear motherfuckers say my name on the track. I know he's obviously not talking to me, but that shit was just weird. Like, get the fuck out of here. But when that shit was crazy, boy. It went in. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, that shit crazy. The Super Bowl performance, that shit was decent as hell. I know it wasn't as woke or whatever the fuck y'all wanted that shit to be. It was just like, I'm gonna say, like on some me shit. I'm more woke than y'all think I am, but I'm less woke than y'all want me to be. But I'm me though, and y'all. So that's what it is. This fourth group I call I can see that, where it's like I see where you coming from, but I just can't die on this hill. Slash, I can't even really speak on this honestly because I haven't like actually confirmed if I agree. Slash, I can't fully commit to this. Slash, it may not just be for me. Slash, I haven't really been convinced. You know, at least not. Not yet. I haven't fully been convinced yet. An example of the I can see that is Doechii's fandom. Like, I'm not against Doechii. Salute to that sister. Um, it's just like I've listened to her music. I watched her Tiny Desk. The fact that I seen her Tiny Desk usually don't blow up like that for like artists that's kind of like, you feel me? She kind of like she may, the it's a thin blurry line between mainstream and underground. But I feel like the fact that she ain't like a huge artist and her shit did numbers like that is like obviously people fucking with her shit. Like she can rap, so like I'm gonna go listen to the shit. And I was like, okay, I could see why people fucking with it, but it's just like, I got other rappers that I listen to and sisters, so don't think it's no motherfucking. I don't listen to female rappers. I love Lil Sims. I don't even believe in marriage or childbirth, but if she ever wanted me in that way, I would give her children and give her a ring. No Name. Also, I'm from Chicago. How could I not fuck with No Name? You feel me? Um, shit. Tierra Whack got bars. What's the other sister? Chica. She got bars. Rhapsody. She got bars. So obviously, it's not that. It's like it's hella rappers. It's hella rappers. G. Don't get mad because I don't fully fuck. I'm not against her though. That's the whole thing. It's just like I can see it, but it's just not necessarily for me though. This fifth group I call I don't know. Literally, people have to get more into the habit of saying I don't know. In fact, the full name of this group I call I don't know, but I can't waste my time slash energy worrying about this. Um, I'll give you an example. I'll give you two examples. Number one, aliens, right? I don't know if aliens exist or not, but I don't really care. Like if they do exist or they don't, that don't really affect me. You know how long we've been on this earth or in the universe, whatever? If some motherfuckers was going to invade us, don't you think they would have been did that shit? Like, I'm not worried about that shit. Get the fuck out of here. Also, where do we go or what happens to us after we die, like spiritually? I'm not really concerned about if there's a heaven. Reincarnation, I might be a little worried about because it's like if I gotta learn all this shit over, G, that would be just weak as hell. Like, what the fuck? But who knows? Obviously, if I do reincarnate, it'd be further in the future, which could be a worse future, or it could be better, or it could be, that everything got its ups and downs, here's and there's. This sixth group I call I Hear You But No. This is a group that's kind of like the I Can See That group, except I know for sure I'm much more certain that I disagree. But I'm not going to I'm not going I don't feel like it's necessarily worth arguing or debating over this shit, but I'm also not gonna agree with your ass. I know that for sure. I'll give you an example for this. Criticizing people for being morbidly obese is anti-black. Like I watched let me write bro's name down. I watched you know it's a foreign man in a foreign land. I can't even say bro name without the motherfucking beat because that shit raw as hell. He got probably one of the coolest intros. But anyway, and consciously, I done seen y'all talk about motherfucking the history of them trying to police black bodies and all of that, and how also being overweight was looked at as a connection to wealth or whatever. But let me just stop you right there. We're not talking about pleasantly plump. We're talking about obese, like 600-pound life. When it gets to that type of level, it's not cute. It's not, oh, I could, like, no. And then when you watch the show and you see people who have like fetishes of women like that, like those dudes are horrible dudes because those dudes don't want the women to lose any weight. And they want, like, I feel like that's like a form of abuse and control, and also just fetishization. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying. Fetishization. Fetishizing. Why am I doing the zh? But anyway, point is, get the fuck out of here with that. Secondly, as far as it being connected to wealth, it's also connected to greed. I don't know what time period y'all are necessarily talking about, but by the time motherfuckers was doing political cartoons, which was probably a good 200 years ago, at least 100 plus years ago, they would show, literally, there's a term, fat cats. You feel me? The corporate motherfuckers, etc., etc. Um, and when people are like crime bosses, you know what I'm saying? They're like, yeah, see, I'm a fat man, yeah. You know, fucking Spider-Man. What's the motherfucker? Kingpin. He was a big fat motherfucker. Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, see, I'm a fat motherfucker. I'll sit on ya. So, like, you feel me? It's also looked at in a negative way too for white people and for Hispanics because they got the fat mob, or not mob, but you know, yeah, I'm fat. I'm fat. I'm fat Jose, and I got the yayo. I got all of the bricks on me, you know. So that's kind of, some people, you know, lean like a cholo and all that shit. They think that shit positive, but sometimes motherfuckers don't want that stereotype. They think that shit negative. But whatever. Anyway, this last group is called Ain't No Way, Ain't No Fucking Way. Fuck Future, by the way. Um, this group, you cannot convince me. You cannot change my mind. Fuck out of here. Um, I'm gonna give you two examples of this. One is Zodiacs. I never even considered that bullshit. Like, despite my history with indoctrination, like, I've given other belief systems at least a listen, because I'm like, okay, obviously the Muslims, like, they showing improving, so I can see what they talking about. You know, I could kind of see where people coming from with the whole chakras and shit like that. But the Zodiacs, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. Go watch my other videos. That shit is so easily debunkable. Ain't no fucking way. Another example of things that you're not gonna convince me of is that trans women are real women. Like, let me explain something to you, G. I've got friends in my life that I don't really have in my life no more because them motherfuckers are just too stupid and I just don't have time for none of the buffoonery. So I remember there being a time where one of my homies who I don't rock with no more came over to the crib and he saw that I had a decorative broom, right? The cinnamon brooms that you get from Trader Joe's that smell like, make your house smell like cinnamon. Bro is like, hey, that broom, so it's hanging up like as decoration. This motherfucker says, hey, that broom looks too short to sweep up with. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's because it's for decoration. It's not a broom for sweeping with. He's like, okay, but it's called a broom though. Like, why would it be called a broom if it's not designed? I'm like, you dumbass. It's called a decorative cinnamon broom. Like, you put those two words in front of it to let you know that what you expect from a what you expect from an originally perceived broom, how we perceive brooms to be, those those features are not going to be featured in this broom that has 2 words in front of it to tell you that it's not your standard broom. Just like a model car is called a model car. Yeah, it's called a car, but it's called a model car. Just because it's designed and modeled after a car, hint, hint, don't mean you can fit your ass up in there. Sorry for the microaggression. So don't fucking act like motherfuckers are being unreasonable for saying, hey, you're calling this thing something different for a reason, because this thing is different. I am not anti-left. I am not anti-right. I'm not anti-conservative. I'm not anti-liberal. I'm anti-bullshit. It's just that simple. The problem with all of y'all is that everybody loves clinging on to their bullshit. I cannot speak for anybody else but myself, but I can tell you that for sure. There are 4 responses to bullshit, and I'm a part of the 4th group, which is probably the smallest group. So this first group is survivors. This is the largest group. Survivors, no matter what the bullshit is, they accept it out of survival, and they deny that it's bullshit either out of ignorance, inability, laziness, comfort, or community. More on that later. The second group is called exploiters. Self-explanatory. This group profits by exploiting the above group, the large group of survivors. Then you've got flippers. What's flippers? People who flip sides, whether that's out of spite, to spite the side that they were originally a part of or felt they were a part of, or they've been convinced that they're going to benefit from this other side. You remember how I said that leftists, Democrats, and liberals are all pretty much the same motherfuckers no matter what y'all say, because y'all all under the same flag? So if you can't tell, because you ain't been paying the fuck attention and you need to watch my other videos, I'm born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. Lie down, Chi-Town Todd, lie down. Now listen, I know all about gangbanging, which is what pisses me the most off about religion, because all the gangs use religious symbols, dumbass, and cult symbols, because gangs are just cults, just like religions are just cults, just like fraternities are just cults, fraternities are just gangs, gangs are just cults. This motherfucking political shit is the same shit. If y'all don't know about Lil J, the motherfucker that used to be saying BDK, BDK, all of this shit, Lil J was a BD, and technically is still a BD, technically. Flip side, but now he all, well, I won't say now, the motherfucker's in jail, but as we know him, there are pictures of him throwing up BD, but fast forward to his hair growing longer and his stomach getting fatter, he cracking trays and all of that shit, right? Flip side, pun intended, I guess, 600 Breezy, who, hence the name 600, he is 600, he's a BD, but he used to be a GD. If you watch any interviews of any of these motherfuckers talking about this shit, you know what they gonna say? Oh, well, it's not that bad because we're all under the Star of David. Interesting, huh? More on that later. Anyway, but also, of course, what's worse than Blue MAGA is, of course, Black MAGA. These motherfuckers that somehow think that flipping to the entire other side is gonna help you out. Like, the motherfuckers don't like your black ass, you fucking idiot. Moron. Then finally, the 4th group that I'm a proud member of, the rejectors. And thus we are rejected. But yeah, the way I see it, all bullshit is bullshit. Christianity is just Western bullshit. Zodiacs is just Eastern bullshit. It's almost 4:20. That's what I was checking the clock. Islam is just Arabic bullshit. Ifa is just African bullshit. Denying the fact that Jews are just white people that the other white people don't like is leftist bullshit. Saying that black people descend from Israel and not Africa is just Hotep bullshit. Bullshit is bullshit. That's it. And if you are mad at some of the bullshit and not all of the bullshit, then you are part of the problem. I guess that's the universe telling me to not spark up until it's 420. All right. So I've heard the word grift in the blue team community, and I've never heard it before, y'all. It's used to describe how the alleged right is conning their community into having them hang on to their every word, whether it's something true or not. I hear, by the way, this other term, stand on business, and I use the term stand on business. And I also hear the phrase, mind the business that pays you. But, you know, when it comes to this media shit, whether social or otherwise, I came up with a new phrase that combines the two phrases. That's stand on the business that pays you. Peep this. Don't mean you finna hit this shit. You better roll something. OD on THC. Oh, they got rid of me. Fuck to the face. It's got to be 420 now. Okay, it's still 419. Whatever. I could keep talking. All right. So, stand on the business that pays you. So I change my opinions over time, often. And this is due to me gaining more understanding about things as time goes on. I do not change my opinions or base my opinions on the current zeitgeist or whatever the fuck, which is why my perspectives don't reach the masses like the rest of y'all asses. Bars. No, but don't reach the masses like a lot of these round peg, round hole, square peg, square hole motherfuckers. All right, this 420. Damn, my filter came out. And we keep rolling and rolling and rolling. And we keep rolling and rolling and rolling. Smoke. I keep smoking and smoking and telling y'all that's what's up. Keep going. All right. So it's both equally difficult for me to find community and for community to find me. I'm not catering to any specific desires. And for those who do, like the alleged left, why not call that a grift? Recently I watched Rap Critic's video, shout out to him, talking about how Eminem's recent he got some song where he spitting some bars about being pro-trans rights, but he doesn't want to get tricked or confused or whatever the fuck by a trans woman or some shit is the insinuation. Shout out to Rap Critic for saying that the only people who would have a problem not knowing if a trans woman was a trans woman are these motherfucking thirsty, let me just tell you like this, fools, bro. Cause wise men say only fools rush in. So yeah, man, only fools rush in. So a lot of these dudes that be getting caught up with trans people is the same dudes that get caught up in all other type of situations because they be thinking with they dick and being fucking hedonistic. They run into issues, period. Which means that we gotta be disciplined and we gotta have self-control, right? I ain't saying this means be nuns or do none, but encouraging motherfuckers to be loose booty as hell and motherfucking undisciplined hedonist is just not a good look. And by always being led by your genitals, that shit's gonna bite you on your stinking ass every motherfucking time. So my thing is, so what behaviors are you um encouraging slash enabling in your community? Ooh, ooh, I forgot how much I fuck with this shit. Hey.
Spell my team name and diamonds is how I feel about it. Niggas won't get down cause they bitches won't be around it. Jet life right there in the clouds with my smoker pattern.
I
Watch
can
me
turn a
turn this
million
sheet of
paper
paper
to
into
$1
$1
million.
million. Spell my team name and diamonds is how I feel about it. Niggas won't get down cause they bitches won't be around it.
Okay.
Jet life right there in the clouds with my smoker
So,
pattern.
shout out to Consciously, right? But case in point, G, is what you said about trans people not having to disclose. That shit was bullshit, G. Cause you know, it is the thirsty dude's fault for being blindly hedonistic, right? But convincing somebody that everything they believe in is true just because they believe it, to the point that motherfuckers don't have to be responsible for leading somebody on is absurd. It also doesn't keep people safer, like you suggested. You said, I think that if you want to talk about disclosing, people should disclose whether or not they harm trans people before. It's like, bro, I agree with both. I agree that both people should disclose, and both of those things should happen in a public space. Bro, you're saying that this shit should happen right before they finna fuck? What are you talking about, bro? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Because think about it like this, bro. What would you choose to do? Have this conversation in public, in a public place where it's witnesses and the lights is on and shit, or have this conversation behind closed doors? It's just y'all. You feel me? Vulnerable as fuck, damn near naked. Which one really is the most safest to do? Like, come on, my boy. Come on, my brother. What the fuck was I finna say? Oh yeah, not to mention all this bullshit. Like, you conflating also blackness and transness. That shit was just pick. Y'all have to stop conflating blackness and goddamn whoopity wop. You gotta stop conflating blackness and queerness, G. And I'm gonna prove it to you. First of all, my boy, you are up here. She asking you questions about they, whatever the person's gender was, or identifying pronouns are. Um, that person is up here asking you questions about that, about why is it transphobic that people should disclose, and you ever talking about what do you put on grits? Well, your fucking country ass, what the fuck? then then bro, what? You asked about the fucking cookout and shit? Oh man, bro, that shit was a bad look, my boy, my boy. That shit was looking bad. That was looking real bad. But let's move the fuck forward. Oh no. How do I prove this shit? Rachel Dolezal. If gender is a social construct, just like race is a social construct, and y'all keep comparing and conflating the two, then why did y'all get mad at Rachel Dolezal for acting on that? And isn't it dead naming to call Rachel Dolezal that and not Nikiche Diallo? See how fucking anyway. Nikiche Diallo basically said, oh yeah, so all of this shit is a social construct. You could change your gender and pronouns, you could change your race and phenotype. So I'm gonna get a fucking perm and bronzer on my shit and and fucking tell people I'm black and my name is Nikiche Diallo. Gee, what? That's fucking crazy. And I'm the head of the NAACP. I mean, why the fuck not? Race is a social construct, right? And it's just like gender. If it don't work the same and you can't do the same shit in response to those rules, then stop fucking conflating them. Anyway, let me just say again, I do not feel like I have community. You can pretty much see why, right? This entire I'm very self-aware. Like, I'm not one of these like hoteps. Because FD recently dropped a video talking about I think I understand hoteps now. I don't know if that's true or how true that is, but let's see if he can understand this. This entire last month, February, I was telling as many black people who would make eye contact with me, Happy Black History Month, the entire month. Once again, this is Chicago, very segregated. The majority of the people, everybody damn near over here is black slash South American immigrant. Um, Shout out to the Venezuelans. Shout out my Venezuelans. Free all the Palestinis. All of my homies that gangbang. All the Black Stones and BDs. Nah, but anyway, what was I finna fucking say? Um, so, um, because this is how I see it. The black community should just be a community off rip. Just being black alone should be enough for us to build community around. Um, but clearly it isn't, at least not yet. Because it became clear that I was the only one telling people Happy Black History Month. Proof is how people responded from being pleasantly surprised, like, oh, I know that's right. We gotta say it because they trying to get rid of it. Ain't nobody else been saying it. Shit. From people doing that to being pleasantly surprised or straight up silence. Um, and speaking of straight, about 10 years ago, I discovered, and this is the whole part y'all been waiting for. And this is pretty much the end of the video, y'all, so be cool. Um, about 10 years ago, I discovered that my experience being a stoner, is pretty much like a lot of the stories I've heard queer people say. Get ready, peep this list. I've gotten kicked out of my OG house for it. It's a general barrier to housing and employment. It's something that my peers shunned me for, even though some of them participated in it in secret, like the Mexican coworker that I told y'all about. It's criticized heavily by the religious community, whether Democrat or Republican. It's been a huge battle surrounding legalization and has caused police harassment. It affects how I date. It involves the use of supplements that aren't covered by insurance. And most importantly, probably, is that as black people, we are not welcome slash have as much access in these spaces without significant structural, cultural, social, and or systematic barriers. Um, and I hope you aren't offended if you are LGBT. But then my question is, what's more offensive? Comparing being LGBT to being a stoner or comparing this shit to being black? Yeah. Anyway, which brings me to this. Black people, you don't have to agree with how gay people and trans people live their lives. But if you think that LGBT is some white shit, then why do you think they feel more comfortable trying to go to white spaces? No matter what the outcome usually is, I feel like they more willing to deal with, I don't know. I'm not LGBT, but if any of y'all are, y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all feel more comfortable or drawn towards gay spaces or black spaces? Um, but anyway, um, as black people, we all deserve to be welcome in black spaces. Y'all inviting white people to the fucking cookout in y'all bedroom over bullshit, but gay people, black LGBT can't even get a plate, and they whole time low key been doing a lot of the contributing to the cooking. And some of y'all motherfuckers, y'all don't even like to listen to certain music, without criticizing the artist for being LGBT. But you consuming though. It's like if you gonna consume, you gonna eat, then just let them cook. Make space for the gays and for the stoners. It's that African shit, boy. And we about to get high, about to get high, about to get high, about to get high. And I got another one rolled in my pocket. They telling me to quit, but I just won't stop it. I'm in this fucking sky all the time like a rocket. Motherfuckers can't block it, but I'm on the block, motherfucker, and we popping another fucking bag of weed and we smoking. And y'all ass ain't gonna do nothing. And if you think you is, you just bluffing. Those tickets ain't nothing.